Hey, welcome back to Mike's Kitchen. Still no name for my YouTube site, but still subscribe, please. So for tomorrow night, we are going to eat beef brisket. This is about 10 pounds. Tonight, I'm going to simply prepare it for tomorrow. I'm going to cut all of this fat off here. I'm going to slice this. I'm going to cook this side for the actual brisket. This side is going to be my my burnt ends. But I'll be slicing all this fat off and then putting it back in here, letting it sit overnight. No rub will go on this until tomorrow. I'm going to get up around 6 o'clock in the morning, put the rub on it at that time, throw it on the smoker. I'll be using the competition blend for our smoke, and it's going to take about 10 to 12 hours to do this. I'll be stopping throughout, halfway, wrapping it in butcher's paper or parchment paper, and then continuing to cook from there. So, hey, see you later on. All right, as you see, I've taken the majority of the fat off the top portion of this, okay? So I dug in there, I got rid of most of the fat. The rest of this will render out and make this really nice and juicy. I'm gonna flip it over now, and the fatty side, I'm going to cut some of this fat off here. This is for my burnt ends, and this would be for the actual brisket piece over here. So burnt ends here, brisket over here. I'm going to take all this fat off, and we'll clean this up. All right, here we are. We've separated the flat from the point. This is going to be my burnt ends. I've taken all that fat off. This will be my brisket flat piece. So I'm going to cook it this side down like that. About 5 or 6 hours. Tomorrow morning, take it off, wrap it, put it back on. I'm going to be using a hickory rub that we have. You'll see that later on. All right, here we are at the Pit Boss 1100. Getting ready to put our brisket on. Won't go on for another hour-ish. So I'm going to get this set up. It's already turned on. I'm going to set this for 350 to heat up, but it'll go down to 300 once I'm ready. I've got the competition blend in there for my pellets, and we'll be back later on. All right, good morning. All right, so we're back. We've got the brisket out. It's already been prepped by taking all the fat off that I needed to. I'm gonna prep this with a little bit of canola and olive oil mix, just for a binder. There we go, that should be good. Spread that all over. Flip this over. Do it here as well.
I love that cruet.
That's nice, yeah. This has been in the family for some time. There we go. All right. Since I'm already here, we are using today the Pit Boss Kansas City Barbecue Rub on this. So I'm gonna liberally spread this around. This is the bottom of it and the fatty side, so I'm not gonna put too much on the fat, but I'm gonna tamp this in. I don't wanna rub it in because it'll move it around. Switch this around. This is the side that matters. Get it all in there. Just pat it down. Good. We'll put some more on once we get this in the smoker. Okay, we got that on there, and we're going to top this off with a little bit of kosher salt, just for a little bit of extra moisture in there. Good. Okay, that's good. We are going to let this sit for about a half hour while the smoker heats up, and then we're going to put it on. And all right, we're back. So, last minute adjustment. I'm going to use a Myron Mixon recipe for an injection. So I mixed up some bouillon and some au jus with about a quart of water, brought it to a boil, and I'm going to inject that throughout the brisket. I got my injector. Bring this up, and I'm going to inject throughout. Cover it. Spritz every now and then. All right, I've placed the brisket on, fat side down. It's on the grates right now. In about 2 hours, I'm gonna put it into a pan and cover it with foil. But right now I've got it on. It'll be at 300 degrees. Got one probe in it. Our internal temp wants to be 205 degrees. That should be in about 5 hours. Then we'll take it off, let it rest for about 2 to 3 hours. And in the meantime, we'll cut the point off and put that on for our burn ends. Okay, see you later. All right, it's been about 2 hours. My internal temp says 190. My temperature right now says 285 here. It's set for 300. We're gonna open her up, see how she looks. We're gonna pan her and cover her with foil. All right, so I've got my pan and foil there. We're gonna open this up. She looks really good. And we're gonna cover her with foil. Okay, we'll be back in another couple hours, or when she reaches 205. All right, here we are. We're at the 3 hour mark. I think due to the size of the brisket, we're already at the 205 degree mark, a little higher than that too. So we're gonna take this off, start letting the flat portion of it rest, and we're gonna cut the point off and start hooking that right back onto the rack to get our burnt ends. Okay, so let's take it off and we'll be right back. All right, we are back at the final stage of this brisket. There you see the burnt end portion of it. We're gonna take this off now. We've got our good bark working right there on the cut end. Shrank up pretty good, but the other end, the flat portion of the brisket's already been resting for about an hour. We're gonna put this into the pan as well and let that rest for another couple hours, and then we'll dig into it later on. All right, here we are. So I'm already cutting it up. I'm a little ahead of where I should have been recording. So I've already cut the burnt ends up. I've already been cutting into the brisket. It's a little overcooked. However, it's really good. The au jus that I had created for the injection, I should have put into the pan while it was cooking. I put it on afterwards. So again, it's a little drier than I would expect it to be, but I think next time I'll put the au jus that we had created for the injection over it as well, inject it and then pour it over, because it came out pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really good, but it needs to be a little moister. Right? Enjoy.